You are about to watch a Top Hat production. Please subscribe and click on notifications. Enjoy the show.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Minister Charles Nolen, and you are watching National and World News Tonight. It is Monday, May 4th, 2026. I want to let you know, just so you know, that I don't put any special graphics or look for special, videos to put in with my videos. What I do is I read the video as I've assembled it for you with the best news presentation that I can. I actually have to read it. So bear with me. I'm just being honest with you. And I hope that I give you a really fair and balanced newscast for you and your friends and all of our communities. Thank you for inviting us, me, into your home. Tonight we bring you a comprehensive look at the major stories shaping our nation and our world, from developments in Washington to rising tensions overseas, to economic pressures here at home and moments of progress in science, sports, and culture. We begin tonight with breaking developments in a high-profile investigation that has captured national attention. Federal officials now say there is clear and conclusive evidence regarding the shooting incident that occurred during the White House Correspondents' dinner. Ballistic analysis conducted by federal investigators confirmed that the suspect's weapon was responsible for the injuries sustained by a Secret Service officer. This finding resolves earlier uncertainty and speculation about whether the injury may have been caused by so-called friendly fire. Authorities now state with confidence that the officer was struck by a projectile fired from the suspect's firearm. The officer, who was wearing protective gear at the time, survived the incident. Investigators say that protection likely prevented far more serious injury, or worse. This development marks a critical turning point in the investigation, which remains ongoing. Officials are continuing to review surveillance footage, witness accounts, and security procedures to determine exactly how the suspect was able to breach such a highly secured environment. Questions are also being raised about potential warning signs and whether additional measures could have prevented the attack. As of tonight, the suspect faces multiple federal charges, including serious offenses tied to violence against federal personnel. Further charges could still be added as investigators continue to build their case. This incident has renewed conversations about security at high-profile events and the challenges of protecting public officials in an increasingly unpredictable environment. We turn now to the Middle East, where tensions are once again escalating. Despite an existing ceasefire agreement, reports indicate that Israeli strikes have resulted in dozens of deaths in Lebanon. In response to the strikes, new displacement orders have been issued, forcing civilians to flee their homes in already vulnerable areas. The humanitarian situation is becoming increasingly severe. Families are being uprooted. Infrastructure is strained, and access to basic necessities remains uncertain for many. International leaders are urging restraint, calling for renewed diplomatic efforts to prevent further escalation. However, the situation on the ground remains fluid and unpredictable. Beyond the immediate human impact, the conflict is also influencing global markets. Oil prices have surged in response to the instability, reflecting concerns about supply disruptions and broader geopolitical risk. These rising costs are being felt far beyond the region, affecting economies, businesses, and households around the world. The coming days will be critical as world leaders assess their options and attempt to navigate a path toward stability. Continuing in the region, reports indicate ongoing military activity involving U.S. and Iranian forces. These incidents are said to include clashes near strategic waterways, vital corridors for global shipping and energy transport. While details remain limited, officials acknowledge that tensions between the two sides remain high. The potential for escalation continues to be a major concern among international observers. Military analysis warned that even isolated incidents can carry significant consequences in such a sensitive and interconnected region. Diplomatic channels remain active, but the situation underscores the fragile balance currently in place. Tone is very unpredictable, and as far as I can tell, it's neutral. Back here in the United States, a federal appeals court has issued a ruling that limits access to abortion medication nationwide. So you can't get it, it's limited access. There you go. The decision represents a significant development in an ongoing legal and political debate. Advocacy groups on both sides have responded swiftly with strong reactions and renewed calls for action. Legal experts say the ruling is likely to face further challenges, potentially setting the stage for additional court proceedings. For many Americans, the issue remains deeply personal and closely tied to broader questions about health care, law, and individual rights. As the story continues to unfold, it is expected to remain a central topic in both legal and political arenas. In Oklahoma, authorities are investigating a mass shooting that occurred at a lakeside gathering near Oklahoma City. Multiple individuals were injured when gunfire broke out during what has been described as a party. Emergency responders arrived quickly, providing medical assistance and transporting victims to nearby hospitals. At this hour, officials have not released detailed information regarding suspects or motives. The investigation remains active. Incidents like this continue to raise concerns about public safety and the factors that contribute to acts of violence in communities across the country. Turning now to the economy. Gas prices are on the rise, wouldn't you know it, with increases being reported across much of the nation. Experts attribute the surge to a combination of global conflict, supply chain disruptions, and market uncertainty. For consumers, the impact is immediate. Higher fuel costs affect daily commutes, travel plans, and the price of goods and services. Economists say the situation will depend largely on developments overseas, as well as production levels and policy decisions in the weeks ahead. Around the world, political and economic tensions continue to shape the global landscape. Trade disputes, manufacturing policies, and government support measures are all contributing to an environment of uncertainty. At the same time, large-scale business negotiations, including potential mergers and acquisitions, are drawing attention from investors and analysts. These developments reflect a broader shift in how nations and corporations navigate a rapidly changing global economy. The outcome of these tensions could have lasting effects on markets, employment, and international relationships. In health and science news, a new drug designed to treat early-stage Alzheimer's disease has been approved in some markets. Now, that could be exciting because we would like to see the people that are suffering from Alzheimer's get help. Medical experts are calling this a meaningful step forward in the fight against a condition that affects millions of individuals and families worldwide. While not a cure, the treatment offers new possibilities for slowing progression and improving quality of life. Further research and regulatory review are expected as scientists continue to explore new approaches to treatment and prevention. In sports, Barcelona's women's team has once again reached the Champions League final, continuing a remarkable run of success. Meanwhile, the men's team is closing in on a La Liga title and adding to the club's strong season. And in the world of snooker, the championship final is currently underway, featuring a highly anticipated match between Sean Murphy and Wu Yeez. Fans around the world are watching closely as the competition unfolds. In entertainment, preparations are underway for the 2026 American Music Awards. Organizers are announcing performers, finalizing production plans, and building anticipation for one of the industry's biggest nights. The event is expected to showcase a wide range of talent reflecting the diversity and creativity of today's music scene. Now a look at weather conditions. Across parts of the southern United States, including areas along the Gulf Coast, increased storm activity is being monitored. Forecasters warn of possible heavy rainfall, strong thunderstorms, and localized flooding in some regions. Residents are encouraged to remain alert, stay informed, and follow guidance from local authorities. Elsewhere, seasonal conditions continue with varying temperatures and weather patterns across the country. Before we conclude tonight, we take a moment for reflection. In a world filled with uncertainty, challenge, and change, many find strength in faith. Lo and behold, from the Holy Bible Amplified Version, God is our refuge and strength, a very present and well-proved help in trouble. He's mighty and impenetrable. Therefore, we will not fear, though the earth should change, and though the mountains be shaken into the midst of the seas, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble at its roaring. Psalm 46, 1 through 3. A reminder that even in times of great uncertainty, there is a foundation of strength and a source of peace. Tonight's news reflects a world navigating complex challenges, from security concerns here at home to rising tensions abroad, to economic pressures affecting everyday lives. And yet, there are also signs of progress, resilience, and hope. Thank you for joining us tonight. Always follow the will and wisdom of God, and I will see you on the next National and World News Tonight with Minister Charles Nolen. Have an absolutely fantastic night, folks, and know how much I care about what you are facing. National and World News Tonight.
Thank you for watching a Top Hat production.